Welcome on behalf of Café. Café is Comunidades en Acción Ambiental, and for people who don't know about it, we were formed in 2009 with about 12 clergy and different community leaders to find out the problems and different things in the community and to find solutions to those problems. Now we have about 7 different congregations, and we're representing through those congregations about 10,000 families. We're also part of PICO, which is People Involved in Community Organizing, which is one of the largest faith-based organizations in the U.S. And so I just wanted to welcome you. I'm just going to read a little bit here, and then we're going to have some testimony. In congregations and community across our region, families struggle to make ends meet. Forced to work low-wage jobs, unable to find work after college, or stuck receiving government potential. Our schools are graduating barely half of all our students, and those that do are consistently outperformed by students in other parts of the country, regardless of ethnicity or income. Our young people are increasingly defaulting on their debt because they cannot pay and did not understand the risk of credit card debt. Our families and communities are facing greater challenges with less resources, and both are straining under the pressure. Anthony is like any other small rural town in America. We are resourceful, tight-knit, and faithful. We also share the struggles of small towns. Our best and brightest leave as soon as they can. Jobs are scarce, and access to things like healthcare specialists, advanced placement classes, and after-school programs and events are too few. Cafe leaders reject the notion that it is inherently our place to be last in education, first in lack of access to doctors, and impotent to addressing our nation's issues with immigration. We demand fairness in how resources are shared and delivered. We don't want to be stuck on welfare and our kids sent away to be cared for by someone else. We believe that strong communities are built with strong families. We want opportunities to demonstrate our potential as a community. However, what we find is divisive rhetoric and politics instead of real commitment to fairness and opportunities. We need tools that give us all greater access to health care, improve our school systems, and develop a strong foundation for economic growth. We also want to be at the table helping to shape those policies and systems so that we know that they will work for us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Victor Montoya, and in 2010, my son was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We had been going from doctor to doctor for 4 months, and during Thanksgiving, we were able to finally get a diagnosis when we rushed into the hospital and began to give him care. It was one of the most powerless moments to hold your son and having him in a pain that you could not control. My son is currently on the CHIP healthcare system, and it's saving his life. And my experience through that has allowed me to reinvest my energy on helping our community in education, making sure that our kids have a future, and I'm able to concentrate on my job and not worry about selling my house because of my health care bills. I want to be an example in this community as a leader that this system is there as a step, but we need to have a strong foundation of ourselves and families. And that foundation can rebuild this country one piece at a time. And teaching independence and dependence is what's needed now. It's sad that this country is 17th in education. It's sad I have to drive my son every week to Albuquerque to save his life. But by the grace of God, we're going to use our example to save other children and to make this country great again. Thanks.
My name is Ana Artalejo, and I'm a mom, a leader. Anything you want to tell me for my kids. As a mom, I want to know what future do my children have in this school, in this community, when the education advancement is as bad as it is. How many hurdles do I as a mom have to jump to be heard and to be understood, that my kids need to be educated better, to be able to grow up and have a good future. Why can we have programs available within our schools for gifted children and for children with special needs? We have a school here at Gadsden Middle School. Some of our doors are not accessible to handicapped children. And I've seen too many times kids get hit by that door. We have one student who's blind that's gotten hit by that door because it's not accessible for handicapped children. We are paying taxes, so I want to know where are our taxes going if it's not going towards our kids' educations. What can you do for our kids in this situation? I know when I met with you before, the last person, you talked about your daughter, how she had withdrawn her kids from the school, from a public school. So I don't know if it was a private school or charter school. Okay, to me that's hard to do because of my means. She was able to afford it, but what happens to us that can't afford that luxury? What do we need to do to get some of that education to our students here? Why are we having so many cuts in education? And everybody keeps talking about how we want our kids to be safe, how we want our kids to stop using drugs, stop dropping out. But yet we're having so many cuts to the education system. What else can these kids do after school? All they're left is with, again, drugs. That's the easy things because they can't be at school safe, doing other activities. They don't have anything else to entertain themselves with. So what is it that we can do? Thank you.
Mi pregunta es, ¿por qué se está tardando tanto para arreglar la gente que no tiene documentos? Yo metí papeles para mis hijos, fueron aprobados en el año del 94 y hasta la fecha todavía no arreglan residencia. Quisieron estudiar, no pudieron por el mismo motivo que no eran residentes, nomás tenían permiso para estar aquí para trabajar. Incluso ya tengo uno de mis hijos en México que fue deportado por haber pasado por americano, porque son años y años y tuvo una emergencia en México y tuvo que salir a México y cuando regresó lo deportaron, lo descubrieron pues que no era americano. Y es un muchacho trabajador que su único, él lo único que hace, trae jóvenes jugando deportes de fútbol mexicano y tiene su récord completamente limpio, su único delito haber pasado por americano. Y tengo, pues él ya está deportado y tengo otros dos hijos que también fueron aprobados desde el 94 y todavía hasta esta fecha pues no han arreglado su residencia. Yo ya apliqué para ciudadanía a ver si así pudiera agilizar los trámites y pudieran arreglar mis hijos, porque todavía hasta la fecha no arreglan. Es todo. Gracias.
Congressman, my name is Juan Acevedo, and I've been a community leader for over 20 years. I've been a pastor for almost 60 years in this community, and I'm also a city council member. Bus driver, so I put different hats, and I see our community. It's a strong. It's a community that I have met different people around the city during the time that I have been involved, and I see that there's a lot of people that don't want them to be given something. They want just the resources, just to start and doing things around the city to better the city. And we lack a lot of resources, and we understand that everybody's going through a financial struggle. And as a pastor and as a leader, I strongly believe that families are the core of our community. If the families struggle, the whole community is going to struggle. And we see that there's a lot of money, a lot of funds given to child programs, and I understand that those programs and through what we see, there's not a lot of results. And knowing that the families are the core, we need to help the families. Many of our families have been families that, the parents that are now being parents were brought by the grandparents, probably because both of the parents have to work, and we understand the system, and a lot of the children have been left to the government to be brought up, and that's the family values. I believe that if we could invest more in families and give them incentives for them to learn how to become better parents, how to become even parents, we can help our community. And by seeing a lot of people out there trying to make this community work and lacking a lot of resources, we used to work with a youth program, a community youth program, and we worked with a program and tried to work with kids, and we saw even that time that a lot of the problems come from family structure. So my wife and I, we are very passionate about families. We're motivated, and even sometimes we feel restrained working with our families. And if there would be anything that we can do to better this community, I believe that we have the means, we have the people that want to make a change. The families are very, very important, and if we don't help our families today, in next year, following years, we're going to have great people in our prisons and problems. So this is what we feel, that our families are very important for our community to be stronger and have a better community.
Again, I want to welcome everyone, and that's the last piece of our formal agenda. As Executive Director of CAFE, I want to welcome everyone here and also note a couple of key folks in our community that are here. So Pastor Acevedo is also one of our city councilors. Judge Scott, Peggy Scott is here. Trustee Jim Scott, Trustee Betty Gonzalez, and Trustee Diana Murillo. So thank you all for coming. Did I miss anyone? President of LULAC, Joe Garcia is also here. And then Jake from Senator Rubino's office, Jake Rollo. I'd like to thank you all for coming here. And so, I don't know, we'd like to open up remarks from you, Congressman Pearce, and then open it up for the rest of the community that's here. Because I know that what CAFE works on isn't necessarily what drives the rest of the community, and we hope that we represent the voice and values of our community as much as possible. So we want to open it up to the rest of the community.